Did you know that if you don't buy coffee for 3 years, you'll become a millionaire in 5 years? Did you know that? No, not exactly, obviously, but it feels like that's all the financial advice out there, where it's like, just don't do this small little thing and then you're going to be a gazillionaire and it's going to be so great. And it can feel like really unrealistic. So today, I am not going to share any overnight magic tricks, but I am going to share 9 tiny habits that actually can improve your life and your money, because I have done these. Now, make sure to drop a comment if you have any habits that you have that you feel like are game changing, so that we all can know. And make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. All right, starting off, my number one, which is true, it has benefited my life greatly, is doing a budget every single month. There is something about having control over your income. And for me, knowing where my money's going, because it not only helps me spend and actually enjoy spending and having fun with money, so I know I'm not completely out of control, but there also says something about like the things I want to do, like giving and saving and, looking for the future of like, okay, we're going to take this trip in 8 months. So like we need to start saving for that. How much do we need to put away every month? Like there's just something about planning out your money that allows you to do the things you want to do and have control over it, which ultimately gives you peace. So I use the EveryDollar app. I think it's one of the best budgeting apps out there, and I'll put a link down below so you can check it out, but it is fantastic. Number 2 is I track my transactions daily. So this has to do with the budget, but this is a habit that I do. I'm like every day I usually open up the EveryDollar app and I track to see, okay, what have we spent in the last 24 hours? And it pulls money over. So whether it's Venmoing someone or an Amazon order or whatever it is, I just know where my money's going, and tracking it in the app helps me stay on top of it. Number 3 is prioritizing sleep. So I go to bed early. I've started doing this more and more because I'm waking up early. And there is something about not feeling rushed in the mornings to be able to say, hey, I have like capacity to do things I need to do in the morning. That feels really good. And also, I don't know if I'm just getting older, but like having sleep is so key. It like changes the game in so many levels. So I think there's a reason that like literally people that are sleep deprived are like I felt this like with a newborn. You feel crazy. Like you really do. So sleep is so crucial. And this is a routine that Winston and I both are in. We go to bed early and I love it. It's great. Number 4 is having moments of solitude throughout the day. So this has been big for me to kind of like put in, and it's pretty organic throughout my day. But this is a practice I've started doing more and more. And I swear it just gives me this capacity. I have more patience. I think it gives me a level of just being present and knowing exactly where I am. So whether it's like even in my car, sometimes I'll just like turn off podcasts or books or like do nothing and just be in my car in silence. There's something about that. If I can get those little moments throughout the day, even if it's just a few minutes, it has given me so much more peace versus feeling like I am like running ragged 24/7. Then I look up to go to bed and it's like, oh my gosh, today was just a blur. It really does help me stay in the moment. Now, the next item on the list is something that I actually do with those moments of solitude. So I'll tell you about that in a second. But first, I want to tell you about Delete Me. If you do not remove your personal data from the internet, it is basically like a billboard with your name, your address, your email, even your kids' names. And then sketchy data broker websites will take your data, they will sell it to make money off of you, and then that puts you at risk for scams and fraud. But here's the good news. Delete Me removes your data and helps protect you from phishing, harassment, and other online threats. Winston and I use Delete Me, and it saves us so much time and worry. So you guys, your family's safety and financial security are way too important to leave exposed. So sign up for Delete Me and take control. Go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off, bringing your monthly cost to under $9. Or just click the link in the description. Number 5 is to practice gratitude and contentment. And during those pockets of peace that I have some quiet and solitude, this is something sometimes I will go over because it is amazing. I think gratitude and contentment are things you kind of have to practice. It doesn't just like magically show up. I think it's where our thoughts are. It's where our mind is, our expectations, all of it. So there is something about gratitude that helps center you, and contentment is a byproduct of that. When you are grateful for what you have and you're aware of those things, like top of mind, there's something about having more peace in the present moment and having that contentment, which is huge, not only for your like soul and your satisfaction for your life, but also it helps you with your money, because when you're content, you're less likely to try to compare and keep up. All right, number 6 is connect with people regularly. So this is something that I probably do naturally because I am just a social person, but whether it's like Marco Polo, which is an app that I feel like all millennials use. I don't know if Gen Zers use it, but we use it as millennials. I keep up with friends, even friends that are out of town, but like I have those things going. And if I'm not able to see people, because that's what's been hard, like in the season of life, schedules are just packed, and I hate to say it's true though, mostly kids stuff. And so you see people out and about, with kids sports and all of it. And we have some great friends that, we're part of different teams. So you see them and connect with them, which is awesome. But sometimes those friends that you like, that know you and love you and know everything about you, you don't get to like have lunch with every day, right? Or get to see even once a week, depending on where they are. And so connecting continually with them, I think is so, so important. To be known is huge. And Dr. John Deloney talks about loneliness and all of this lack of connection happening today. And I think it does affect our lives. So connecting with people regularly, so key. Number 7, working out. Okay. I have been up and down this roller coaster constantly. And so now I'm in a rhythm where I'm like, it's been good. It's been 2.5 years, very consistent, usually 3 to 4 times a week. And there is something about it that gives me energy. Like it is something that taking care of my body and knowing like what it can do and that it's strong, it feels good over time. It really, really does. It's sometimes miserable. It's not one of these things I'm like, oh my gosh, I just love it every moment of every time. No, I complain and I cheat a lot too, and like don't count out when I'm supposed to count out my reps sometimes. Like all those things are very true. But for me, overall, what it's done to like everything, I would say, is really big. Like it really is. So I don't know what that looks like for you. Again, I didn't work out for years. So like, I feel like you kind of go through a workout era different times, but right now I'm in it. Don't always like doing it, but I love the result and I feel good, which is really key. All right, number 8 is have a no phone block every day. So what I have tried to do, again, not perfect at this, but I try to put my phone like on my nightstands from 5 to 7 every night. And this is especially like during the school year, like when we're in a rhythm. If we are home, I try to put my phone away because I am tempted to like check out. And it's like, oh my gosh, and I'll just scroll Instagram reels and just kind of like numb out. And that feels good sometimes if I'm like tired. But just putting it away, it's like out of sight, out of mind is really true. So if I can just have it plugged in somewhere where it's not around, it is so helpful. And so we are all attached to our phones and technology. And I think we keep seeing reports and studies out more and more about how addictive it is. And it's very true. So if you can kind of have rhythms that you're not with it 24/7, really important. All right, so number 9, going back to some of this money stuff, but a rhythm that I am in and have stayed true is buying generic brands as often as possible. Now, this will save so much money when it comes to your groceries. And I was even just at Aldi recently, and I like bought all the Aldi brand stuff. And it was so inexpensive, y'all. I'm telling you, like there's something about it that is so true that you don't have to have the name brand. Now, if it's like the peanut butter, like there's a couple of things that my crew is like, nope, I don't want like the off-brand Cheerios. I want the Honey Nut Cheerios, like the real Honey Nut Cheerios. Like, right, we're gonna have our things that we have preferences. But overall, if it's stuff that you can like get away with, yeah, buy generic all day. So those are just some of like the little habits that I have in my life right now. And the funny thing about life is I could come back on in 6 months and they could all look totally different. But being aware of your life and what you need, I think is really important. And carving the time out to make these things possible, it does give you a level of control and an outcome of what you want, that you don't feel like life is just like at you, that you actually have a say over your life, which I think is really important. So we've talked a lot about lifestyle today, but again, there is so much when it comes to managing your money well. So to get the scoop on financial habits that have changed my life, check out how I budget, invest, save, and spend my money. You can click here to watch that, or if you're listening on podcast, I'll put a link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.